to it. And yes, you're being recorded. Fair warning. And following a very active schedule today, we are so glad to have good representation from different parts of town. I was waiting. Oh, Jesus, come on. If anybody knows me, they know I'm very challenged with technology. So let's start off today. And Jeff, if you will stand up, we'll do introductions, get things started. So start here with Mary Beth.
Oh. Hey everybody out there inside the world. I'm Mary Beth. I'm there, the administrative assistant here at Highland Community Ministries, and we're happy to host you guys every month. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, I'm Nick Morris. I'm with the Safety and Security Store and Highland Field board member.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Deanna Daniel, South Sea Hypnosis.
That was Ralph, if you didn't understand him.
My name is Givhan, I'm with Golf Security Services on Highlands. I'm Larry Williams. I'm the trustee of the Turkey Triangle Association. Jeff Myers, sales agent and Mitchell Realtors.
Any Rob's Banks on the side.
Hi, I'm John Stroud with the Better Business Bureau. Bob Adkins, Deer Park Neighborhood Association.
Ray Brothers, Tyler Park Neighborhood Association.
Hi, I'm Rachel Casey with Louisville Metro's Office of Advanced Planning and Sustainability. Here to talk a little bit about CycLOUvia later on.
Lieutenant King, please.
And Aaron Givhan, real estate. All right. Moving right along, Lieutenant King, would you please come up and give us the highlights of the Highlands?
Talking to this, I guess.
You can pull it down on screen.
Okay. Well, just give you all a brief update. Obviously, the weekends for most of the summer were troublesome, to say the least. That seems to be calming down now that there's football games on the weekends. There's high school football games. Other places are working a little better. So we're still doing the extra officers every weekend. Every division sends us one person Fridays and Saturdays just to help. We don't have the manpower. Recently, we've had a string of carjackings. We had the shooting literally right. You can walk to it where the lady, her car got shot up like 14 times. Not real sure what's the deal with that. The main thing is, you keep aware of your surroundings. When you're riding around, lock your car. Don't leave your car unlocked. Don't let anybody in your car. I mean, that's a decision you're going to have to make. We still don't know who's involved with that. We did have another attempted carjacking up by Assumption last week, and they're all younger juveniles. So just because you see a young kid walking down the street, don't think that they're innocent, because it's like literally a crew of 30+ juveniles just getting together and going, not just the Highlands, not just 5th Division, but it's in every division. So I'll take questions if you have a specific question.
Well, Speedway, you caught the guy, right? It's Speedway.
I think the Speedway guy, we caught him. But again, it's opportunity crimes. When these kids and folks are just riding around and they see something, I don't think they're not planned. It's not like they get together and say, hey, today we're going to the Highlands. It's random. And that's why it's hard for us as police officers to really put officers in those spots. Like I said, we're down to 41 officers in the 5th Division. I mean, that's just, when this 2 years ago, we were up to we're at 60, 61. We're down, the whole city's down, but Highlands, we're down. And there's some nights we ride with 5, 6 cars. It is what it is. So I'll take questions. If anybody's got any questions, I can sit here and bore you to death that, yeah, catalytic converters are getting stolen everywhere. I mean, again, it's just random. There's no pattern to any of this. You know, these folks are just riding around looking for, you know, it seems like the hybrids are got more platinum, palladium in them, like the Priuses, the Honda Elements, you know, good old Fords and Chevys, they seem to be okay, but it's the hybrids that are the high dollar parts they're taking. But other than that, I mean, things are, like I said, Friday weekends are getting better. I feel like the Highlands is a safe place to be. It's just, you know, it's just the city right now across the whole county is just seeing a tick in crime. It's just not just here. But we're doing the best we can. If you have complaints, still call us. If you see something suspicious, still call us. We'll make it. We'll make runs. I mean, the non-injury accidents, some of the, hey, my neighbor's playing loud music, some of those calls aren't going to be a priority. If you want to be anonymous, then some of those calls will even be less of a priority. If you don't want us to come contact you, then we're probably not going to make those runs. You know, bark a dog down the street, just calling to say it, we're probably not going to make that run. You know, not just because we don't have the bodies and still with COVID going on, we're trying to limit our contact with folks. You know, just common sense type stuff. But if you see something that's an emergency, by all means, call us. If you see somebody, call us, because we'll come. If we have to bring cars from other divisions, we'll come to the high priority runs. But, you know, some of the other stuff, we get a lot of complaints that, hey, I called 2 hours ago about this dog down the street. Well, we're not going to make those runs. We're just not. You know, animal control may make those runs if it's a dog bite or something like that. Anybody got any questions, anything specific? I can try to, yes, sir.
I live on Glenberry Avenue in the Triangle, Lockton Bridges Drive. Last week, I made a mistake for the first time in months. I locked my car when I came in one night. I came in at 9:30, at 7:30 the next morning. My car had been compartments, both got ravaged. They didn't steal anything of real value. They stole my pair of sunglasses. They stole. It was amazing what they didn't steal. But I guess my point is, should we be reporting that? I know you're not going to make a run. It's probably $300 or $400.
I mean, I always encourage people to report it because, you know, it may be part of that we may have caught somebody down the street that night. I mean, we just don't know what's, just like a prime example, we had some guys got their cars broken into over off Payne and Pope area. And later that night, we stopped two dudes over by Grinstead. Well, while my guys were making a report on this, the guys had what they stole. So sometimes we get lucky, but it's always better to report it. I mean, again, if nothing was, a lot of times people report, hey, someone rummaged through my car, they didn't take nothing. I mean, you can't, I mean, we're gonna document it, but we're not gonna look into that, you know, because I mean, that's what they're doing. They're going through, it's mostly kids or the homeless, going through your car, trying to get some spare change, you know, and then they're gonna move on. They're not breaking your window. Now, if they break your window or something like that, those are the kind of things that obviously it's a more, I guess, it's a bigger offense because now they busted your window. But I always encourage you to report it. I mean, if we take the report or not, at least you can document that you called.
Profile of people that are doing this, are they looking for drugs and money?
I think it's just like there's a group that goes around that busts windows. You know, they'll see you put your purse in your back seat and they'll bust your window. But I think most of the things that we have in the Highlands is just there's so many people that just walk around. I mean, it's just a transient area. I mean, good folk, bad folk, people just walking around. And, you know, it's this opportunity. Kids just pulling door handles, going to school, you know, when they open the door, oh, okay, let's get some. There's no real, you can't really say, well, it's this street or that street. It's happening throughout the county. I mean, people are just pulling door handles, and if they get lucky, they get lucky. So it's always important to lock your car.
Well,
Anything
Lieutenant
else?
King, cannot thank you enough.
All right. And I got to bounce. I got to be somewhere else.
It's an interesting term. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Safe journey.
All right. See you later.
One thing coming up in the fall has been our CycLOUvia, and today we have Rachel Casey here to give us some of the highlights of what's going on.
Sure thing. Thank you, guys. I have to come be on the Zoom too. Thank you guys for, letting me be here today. Like Aaron said, my name is Rachel Casey. I work for the Office of Advanced Planning and Sustainability, who spearheaded this event since it started in 2012. So we are bringing it back Sunday, October 10th. It will be from Grinstead Drive to Douglas Boulevard will be the section of Bardstown Road that will be closed, and it'll be closed to automobile traffic from 2 to 6 p.m. So we'll put those barriers up right at 2, and they'll take them right back up at 6 o'clock. So really just, coming out to spread the word. I have some posters if you guys wanted to take some. We have successfully gone to every business along the corridor and, sort of knocked on the door, let them know what was going on. There were a few we missed because we made the mistake of going on a Monday when some of the businesses were closed. So if you guys would spread the word, that would be great. But other than that, any questions that you guys have about CycLOUvia? It's a great event. We're thinking there's going to be a lot of people since, we had to skip it last year and people are sort of eager to get out. I think if we have good weather, we'll have a really good turnout. Yeah.
Do you all have any special considerations regarding voting?
No, we just are encouraging masks and social distancing, just like at the other mayor's special events that he's had so far this year, like at the hike, bike, and paddle didn't happen, just the hike and bike. And that seemed to work well, just sort of encouraging. And it is primarily an outdoor event. So we think that, having that be the outdoor event and encouraging masks is sufficient for our COVID protocol for this event.
Will the traffic alternative routes be the same as they were in the past?
They will, and I didn't mention, there will still be cross traffic at Eastern. So the LMPD officers will be facilitating automobile crossings at Eastern. And then we sort of had to, at the request of LMPD, because as Lieutenant King said, they're very strapped for personnel, as we know. Normally we've taken it all the way to Highland, but they asked us to sort of pare it back to Grinstead this year. Just, it actually saved them like almost 10 officers just to pull it back to Grinstead. So we sort of agreed to pare it down a little bit this year to help them out.
So it's Broadway.
So it's Grinstead to Douglas. Yep. But yeah, great event. We're looking forward to it. We're excited that CycLOUvia is back. And if you guys have any questions, I'll stick around and I have some posters if you want to take them with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys for letting me come.
The excitement of you gotta move this back up. Yep, they come, they go. Thank you so much, and looking forward to something that feels like a normal activity. Go, go, go. Now, one thing that we're going to do today, and Nancy, I see you. Come on, unmute yourself, girl. We are doing an on-site promotion today. Nancy's our first. She's a board member of ours, and Nancy Chazen, and she's executive director of the National Council of Jewish Women. And that's important for many reasons, and the services that they do. A lot of people know at Mid-City Mall, they go to the Nearly New shop. Not all of them know its origins, and it's having its 65th anniversary. And I believe for the Jewish League, it's 125. Is that how you're doing, girl?
That's how we're doing. Good morning. Thank you for that great introduction. I wish I was there, but I'm very happy to be here in the shop, and I hope I don't give any motion sickness. I'm on my laptop. I'm going to try to hold this up and give you a quick overview. But yes, so I'm the executive director of National Council of Jewish Women. It's a national nonprofit organization that was founded in 1893. We have sections in all 50 states, over 180,000 members nationwide, and we advocate for women, children, and families, both here in the United States, also in Israel, regardless of religious affiliation. And as Aaron mentioned, the Louisville Section was founded in 1895. We just celebrated our 125th anniversary this past year. We own and operate the Nearly New shop. We are currently in Mid-City Mall. I think I'm gonna mute Aaron. Let's see if we can mute Aaron.
I'm here. We were trying to get you on screen because my little screen, it's dark, and she brought you up on the larger screen. I want to make sure you're live on action. Yes.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you. There we go. There's some feedback. So again, I'm here in the Nearly New Shop. So National Council of Jewish Women, we own and operate this resale store. It is primarily our largest source of fundraising. The shop was opened in 1956. We first opened downtown on East Market Street. It was run by just a small group of volunteers. Gosh, our rent back then was about $90 a month. The first item we ever sold, and all of our items even today are still donated by community members, was a pair of shorts. They sold for 35 cents. And that first year we sold over $10,000 that we were able to bring back into our section to do some advocacy work and community service work. That shop outgrew itself. We went to 2 more locations on Market Street before we came here to Mid-City Mall in 1988. We are in the lower level of Mid-City Mall, and some of you may remember this space as the old bowling alley. It was an ice skating rink. It was a roller skating rink. My Wi-Fi may not let me go too far into the store, but if you kind of see behind me just how large the space is, we still have some of those fun like disco, mirrored, reflective things around the store. We still have a DJ booth that's still in the corner, and the old wooden roller skating rink is actually still on the lower level of the floor. So again, we take donations from all community members, very similar to like a Goodwill enterprise, except our profit goes back into the section, the programs, the advocacy work we do here in the section. And then we also donate our merchandise to local organizations to help them out as well. Our 2 big events that we have in the Nearly New Shop are Spring Fling in the spring, and that's when we kind of debuted our spring and summer merchandise. And then our really big one is happening October 23rd, which is our Fashion Encore event. So right now things are a little sparse in the store. Usually we have a whole section over here that's just filled with menswear, kids, women. We've got furniture, collectibles down on the bottom. We're in our final clearance right now of spring and summer. So come in, everything's 75% off. And then in a couple weeks, everything's gonna go to $1. Anything that we cannot sell by that time, we will again donate to our different partner organizations. We do with JCPS, Kentucky Refugee Ministries. We're actually working with some agencies with some recent refugees from Afghanistan to help get them settled. So all of our spring and summer quote merchandise will be moved out. Our fall and winter stuff will come, and it's just designer stuff, everyday stuff. And it's just a huge event. We've got people coming that line up outside of Mid-City Mall like 2 hours before the event, and it's our biggest fundraiser. So if you haven't come down, please check us out. There's always treasure troves of everything, like I said, from furniture to artwork to collectibles to jewelry to shoes to kids stuff. It's a really great place. And again, it just benefits the work we do in the Louisville section of NCJW. And I believe Amy was going to put a little PowerPoint presentation that just had a couple photos of the shop too, just to give you an overview in the chat, and hope to see you guys soon. So thanks for letting me do a little visit from the Nearly New Shop.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, just in your, now I realize people come and go, but in the overall, how many times have you all moved? Just out of curiosity.
So we moved 3 times. We had 3 stores down on Market Street before we came here to Mid-City Mall in 1988. So by far, this is the largest, and it really is, I believe we are the largest and the oldest resale store in all of Louisville. So it's a big space.
Can you claim that in the Jewish League as well?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And through National Council of Jewish Women, the national nonprofit, some of the other sections also have resale stores attached to them. So again, it's just a great fundraising arm for the section and our advocacy work.
Well, congratulations and all the excitement. And if anyone has any sense to go down there and have a good time and get something for a good price.
Thank you.
You go, girl. If you get up any decent sunglasses, let Larry know he's looking.
There always is. And I tell you what, when you come in, tell them you know me and they'll dig around in the back and help you find all the good stuff.
All right. Wonderful. Now, next on this wild day, we're going to go to Nick Morris, and he's going to be talking about the Bardstown Road Baxter Overlay District and some opportunities about so-called trash or treat.
Good morning again to everyone. Just wanted to give you all a little bit of an overview. I think most of you know that Bardstown Road is an overlay district, and basically that area extends from right at Broadway in Baxter, and it goes out about 3 miles to Eastview, which is right at the Bambi Bar. So that's a good reference. So it's about a 3-mile strip. And basically the overlay means that any business owner on that corridor in that area, if he wants to do any material improvements to his property, whether it be renovation or restoration or whatever, he has to get a permit of approval from Metro Planning and Design. So that means he submits an application, and it's pretty involved. He has to get full drawings and details of everything they plan to do to the storefront or whatever retail space it may be, and they submit that, and then it goes through a review process, and also they also have a citizens review committee too, which comes in some cases to approve or disapprove the project. So last week there was actually 3 properties that submitted permits or submitted an application for a permit, which is kind of unusual. Usually we have 1, but in this case we had 3. So I'm going to kind of go through those quickly. The first one, hopefully many of us are familiar with it. It's the former ballet building, and right next to that is the former, actually it's a police substation. And both of those are historic buildings. So, and actually they had received a permit last year, but they wanted to add some additional features to their renovation restoration. So they're actually extending their outdoor patio. And then at the police substation, there's an overhang there. They're going to put an outdoor bar there, as well as some retaining fences. And so it was pretty straightforward for them. That is such a great project. It's going to be a great addition to the Highlands. Here we have a renovation, restoration, and reuse of 2 historic properties. So it's really going to be a great addition. And the restaurant space has been leased. There is a restaurateur who's taken it over and should open maybe in a couple of weeks. But as you know, with progress these days with COVID, it can be slowed down a little bit. So the second property is a little bit further down Bardstown Road past Eastern Parkway. It's close to George's Sweet Potato Pie Company, if any of you have frequented that space. It's actually a former residence. It sits back about maybe 30 or 40 feet from Bardstown Road. And I think it's operated as a skate shop, supplies for skate shop. But the owner wants to turn it into a restaurant, and they have requested to extend the front porch out about 15 feet. That would allow additional seating on the front porch. That would be outdoor seating. And then at ground level, they want to also build a patio, which would allow for additional seating. So there would be an additional staircase coming off the porch that would serve that patio area. And then, of course, you would have the original staircase that was for the going into the main entrance of the building. So there is a rather large tree on that property, but the city arborist determined that it's an invasive species, so they did approve the removal of it. But also the property owner has agreed to plant additional trees that will replace that. So that property, the permit was approved. And also I didn't mention, but the permit was approved for the Bellwether building too, the former ballet building. So the third property, and this one is probably a good example of why we have the Bardstown Road Overlay District. This is a property at 1703 Bardstown Road. It's down close to Safai Coffee, right there at Murray. It's across the street. And that was a former, there were back in the days, many residences along Bardstown Road that set back again maybe 20 or 30 feet. And probably in the last, I don't know, 20 years or so, there was a brick extension built out to the sidewalk that has a single story that has served as retail space for the past many years. But the owner of that property decided, without any approval or asking any questions, the dormer on the original property it's a one-story building, and the dormer was actually just the attic space. The owner went in there and built a huge dormer. In other words, they tore out the old dormer and just created a large dormer, which created a second floor and about 600 square feet of space. So again, there was no permit request for that. So planning and design put a stop work order on that. There was also several other issues with the building as far as handicap accessibility and materials that were being used. So after review, that permit was denied. So, which it should have been probably, because the owner did not go through the proper process, and that's what the overlay is designed to catch. So they will have the opportunity, if they want, to resubmit an application for a permit, and if they are within the confines of the requirements, so to speak, in the checklist, then they may be able to proceed. So anyway, does anyone have any questions on the overlay process and how it works, and any other thoughts or ideas at the moment? Okay.
Is that committee pretty active still? You know, business members and part of Louisville Metro staff?
Yeah, there's about 8 members on the committee. In many cases, the planning and design will make the decision at a staff level. If it's relatively straightforward, if it's a bit more complicated, or they want to get more citizen input, they'll bring in the committee, which is about 8 people, and that could consist of architects, real estate people, business people, residents. So it's a pretty good cross section of folks in the community. Okay. Yeah, anyone is always welcome and encouraged if they see something. And that's kind of what happened at that 1703 property. Just neighbors and businesses in the surrounding area called it in and reported it, because it's kind of hard to see, because you've got that one-story building in the front that kind of blocks part of it. Unless you're kind of across the street, you almost can't see that new dormer they put up. So citizen input is always good. And we want to talk a little bit about cleanup in the Highlands. Brightside always has 2 annual cleanups. They have the spring cleanup and then they have the fall cleanup. Fall cleanup is going to be this October. We have participated with Brightside in this cleanup for many years now, the Highland Commerce Guild, and we have selected the date of October the 30th, which is a Saturday. And typically that's the day we hold these cleanups at 10 a.m. on Saturday. And we invite anyone here that wants to come. We'd love to have you. We'll put out our constant contact blast as well. But also that happens to be the day before Halloween. So it's kind of a good opportunity, maybe, number one, to get the Highlands clean for Halloween. I'm not sure if the trick-or-treaters are going to be coming out on that Saturday evening, or whether they're going to wait officially for the 31st on Sunday. But anyway, we're looking for ways maybe to have some promotional tie-ins with the fact that it is Halloween. We have to think about this some more, but maybe some candy giveaways, or lure some folks out with candy treats. So anyway, October 30th, if you can make it, join us at 10 a.m. at City Mall. We'll have supplies, we'll have shirts, gloves, bags, everything you would need for the cleanup. And candy. Aaron is going to be the candy man, right?
I'll be the candy.
All right. Any questions on that? All right.
I've got one. The neighborhood associations kind of coordinate with you all, like we did last time, and perhaps take on a responsibility for a certain section.
Participation's encouraged, and we had a good turnout last go round with that. So we're happy to be the supplier. And any group that wants to take, we were giving out supplies on Saturday. Some people are going to do it on Sunday. We already know some people can't do it Saturday. That's why we're doing it Saturday, because Sunday we're blocked. We were tied up. So yes to the coordination, and we will be happy to get supplies. You just tell us how much you need.
Yeah.
Cassie and her assistant actually brought supplies to the Willow Park. We have 45 or so volunteers. We took them from there and walked the neighborhood. I don't know if that's, did you all do anything like that, Ray? I think we showed them that did you? The only reason we short-circuited that was just it was more convenient to go to Willow Park and then go from there.
Well, if you tell us how much you need, we'll make sure you get it somehow.
Okay.
How's that?
Yeah, we'll try to coordinate with Cassie on that.
Uncertainty there is how do you, how many people are going to show up? A lot of weather dependent.
Can anyone turn that face down?
It's possible. It's possible. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nick. And Larry, you too. You've been an excellent volunteer. You've been helpful you have many times and ways. You step up and you help out. And Ray too. We have a lot of neighborhood association members that do participate on a very high level. And I must say, I don't think the community is aware how many of these people and how many hours they spend helping out. So thank you guys. There was a discussion on trying to figure out the best day to go after trash. And some like Saturday, some like Sunday. So we do have the option for the Sunday crowd. We will have supplies available. They will come to Mid-City Mall and pick it up and then go out Sunday. We're not trying to stop anybody's schedule, but physically as volunteers, we need our Sunday in October. So thank you all for being helpful, and we will, no trash will go unturned or left behind. No trash left behind. Wonderful. One thing that the Highlands Commerce Guild has been doing, working with Cassie Armstrong, is coordinating with the bar owners and managers and trying to figure out a better way of working with community safety and protocols that will aid and abet the industry. We had earlier in the year, we had a very positive turnout of bar owners and managers to sort of open forum. And from the open forum in December, we're gonna have a follow-up meeting to that. And part of that discussion, a suggestion was made about closing Bardstown Road. And again, there's always pros and cons. It is a temporary closure. It's not every Saturday, every Sunday. It's a technique that was used by the Louisville Police Department on West Broadway and Preston, which changed the traffic patterns, which broke up the cruising crowd. And when the cruising crowd got diverted, things calmed down. So it was a suggestion. In following up to that meeting, the Louisville Police Department is working on a protocol plan for dealing with active shooters. And on top of that, we are taking open forum today, the pros or the cons to trying the concept of closing Bardstown Road. So if anybody is online, we'll try to work through this technology thing. We want to hear what you're thinking. And I believe that we may have a little participation here today. So the floor is open for someone or anyone who would like to speak about the pros or the cons about closing Bardstown Road and addressing the current issues of crime and disruption.
Would you give us an overview of what you specifically would be proposed?
Well, it's a concept, all right? And the concept is, it's sort of like CycLOUvia. They shut the road down from a specific point. And again, it's open for discussion. You just heard on CycLOUvia, they had, due to the officers, they adjusted.
A certain number of hours, so that's what I'm.
Yes, it would be something like maybe 10 to 4 or 12 to 4 a.m. Or, you know, it's not from, you wake up Saturday morning and Bardstown Road shut down. So it's a specific time geared at night. It would be geared towards a Saturday or Friday or a Saturday. And again, a general concept. They may go to Grinstead, they may go past Grinstead. Manpower decides how far they can do the strip. But it would be concentrated on the number of bars per square foot.
You're not trying to shut down restaurants and bars at 7, 8, 9 o'clock.
No. Mm-mm.
So the concept might be 10 to 4.
Yes.
I think that's a great idea.
Well, I mean, you're welcome to come up here and your thoughts. I've heard both sides, and again, that's why we're opening the floor up. So anything, thoughts that you have, please come up so that we can follow, everybody can hear what's going on. So would you like to come up and talk about it? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. All right. Well, just so people know, the questions that generally came up was parking, and we get that. But again, it's a specific time, and the officers are present. From a CycLOUvia point of view, it didn't seem, there was some concerns during CycLOUvia, but the alternative traffic patterns were in place. The officers' training and the process is very similar of keeping the traffic flowing around the area, but making sure that there's no disruptions in the walking area. And that Bardstown Road would literally, they could walk from bar to bar. There was some discussion about, does that mean in the past they've had liberties about having a drink in hand? And that would be something to be discussed. This was only an idea presented at an open meeting, so there is no specifics. But the concerns are real. The thought process is real, because the pro is that up to 4 a.m., there are police at all these different stations, and that individuals can walk out of an establishment and there is more security per block than normal, and that the crowds of people have an opportunity to go to more than one location. There was a suggestion in the concept that if any bar shut earlier, they would allow their security to be available to help outside, which was an interesting idea. Just because they shut down at 2 and you already have security on site, would they be available to help in what they're trying to do in this program? So again, it's discussion level. The opportunity has worked in other parts of town, and that logistically, I'm sure no matter what we do, somebody will be disturbed. So that's where we're at. Yes, sir.
I do have a suggestion on it, is to have police staff until 5. Not just at 4 o'clock, the bars close, and the police go away, because that's when the problems are.
Yes. And it's a good observation, and it didn't come up in the meeting, but you are correct. Under CycLOUvia, they do not disappear at 4. They are there to because the people are still standing in the middle of the street, seriously. So they stay on board passed for to get the streets cleared before they pull the barriers. So good observation. I believe that that's standard protocol, but it will be brought up, and I think very fairly. It's not just, oh, there's a bunch of people in the middle of the street, pull the, see what happens. Let's pull the barricade. So somebody would do it, but not us, not us. But that's a good observation, Ray. Thank you. Any other thoughts? Yes, sir.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And introduce yourself so people on the screen can
Again, my name is Givhan. I'm the CEO of Novel Security Services. We have to do the security for 3 different bars in the Highlands, as well as private security and duty security. My question is, if we do this, where are we going to get the leaders? There's not enough police presence. There's not enough police forces in LMPD overall. How are they going to be able to divert that many resources and that many people?
The way we do CycLOUvia, it's the same process that they will go through. It's the day and time that you do it. This is advance warning. It's not you're going to do it every day of the week. It's a specific time. So it's scheduled. So they will know, depending upon the block they pick, they will know the number of manpower they need. So it's an upfront. It's not, oh, it's Friday night and we got issues. That's not the way. This is pre-planned and the blocks are marked off and they know the number of people they need.
I understand that, sir. My question is, when dealing with the Leo that I have in the past 6 months, they don't have enough officers to do regular patrols. I'm just wondering how they're going to get extra officers from men.
They pulled from the other. So far, they have pulled from all districts to do the work that they are doing on Bardstown Road. It's not just the 5th district. They are using a pool that's larger than the 5th district to man what they're doing as a temporary measure. The specific event we're talking about, again, it will be members that will probably be outside the 5th district coming in because of the number of people at a specific time. But they do draw from the pool larger than the 5th district on these events. During that meeting, they also asked about the participation of the state police because Bardstown Road is a state highway, and that's part of the discussion as well. Thank you. That's why you're there. She helps me. She helps me. All right. Nick, I know you've been a busy guy today, but you are in control of the $25 gift card. Yes, that exciting moment that we have. Well, Nancy, that's true. Nick spends all his time. He is the reason why we have all our gift cards.
Aaron, you're on mute if you can hear us. You're on mute.
Tell Nancy to select a number between 1 and 19.
All right, Nancy, we got to use your imagination. And we want to know if you know about number 1 through 19, what is the magic number that is going to receive a $25 gift card from you?
You know, I will pick 12 since we're at 1250 Bardstown Road.
All right.
Well, 12 happens to be a gentleman named Aaron.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think that you're a very lucky person, but I would hope that she would not mind because of 12. I would like to ask another number because I want somebody, I go over there every now and then. I'll hopefully who gets the next number will be their first time there for an exciting time.
That's kind of you. We'll split the difference and say number 6.
All right, Nick.
Number 6 is John, Better Business Bureau.
All right. Good
Fantastic.
job. Yay. And I know the people at home, It's so sad, but we do have Gazebo products here today, and I wish you were here to take a few of these home, but the people present, by all means, pick some up on the way out. Aaron Givhan, Highlands Commerce Guild, cannot thank you enough. And before I say goodbye, are there any shameless promotions floating in this room at this moment? I know, yes, John.
This Saturday from 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock at Middletown Kroger, we're doing a shred event. So if you've got documents that you want to get rid of, because we all got that stuff, and we don't want to put it in our garbage cans, or we don't want to use our personal shredders, bring out these boxes of papers and documents that you want to have. Electronics, we also are accepting electronics to get rid of. So that's going to be at 6 to 11 at the Middletown Kroger. So bring your garbage, we'll take it.
Hallelujah. Find some place for me to go. I cannot wait to tell my daughter. I have a basement full I want to bring you. All right. Well, yes. Tell us, Mary Beth. Shameless promotion. Oh, come on, so they can see it.
Okay, so Highlands Community Ministries, we've been around since 1970, nonprofit, but we operate 3 child care centers, and we're hiring competitive wages, $13 an hour, and no weekends, no evenings required. So if you know anybody that wants to get into this wonderful institution that's been around forever, and people do love our daycares, and childcare is such a necessary, needed thing right now, but we need help. So if you know anybody, just let us know, give us a call, and we'll get you set up.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, that's one thing about the history of this community is definitely many institutions, longstanding, and Highlands Community Ministry is among the best. One other shameless promotion is that our new map is out. It's an exciting time of year. It has the updates and, of course, the business support with an introduction to the Bardstown Road aglow. So the brochures are here for people who want to take a few. And if you want delivery, let Tom Soffel know, and he will bring them to your doorstep. So, Aaron Givhan, Highlands Commerce Guild, have an exciting day, and thank you for being here.